All right, welcome back to our Hornet Football Flashback, the first edition. I'm Brian Berger, joined now by Sacramento State current quarterbacks coach Bobby Fresques and former quarterback. And Coach, welcome and thanks for joining us. So we're going to flash back to September 5th, 1992. Sac State, then a Division II program. They welcome in, at the time, a Division I AA school in Montana State. And you guys pull off the upset second year in a row. So you go to Bozeman the year before, win 1917. You somehow convince an FCS team to come and play at a Division II school for, I don't know how Mattis pulled that off. And they come in a defensive battle. You guys win 10-7. What do you remember about that game?
I do remember it being a defensive battle. I also remember that on the first play of the game, I threw an 80-yard touchdown to Clinton Prim, and it was called back because he wasn't on the line of scrimmage. So we had too many guys in the backfield. And it was really upsetting only because, of course, you're going to make those mistakes and hopefully they don't happen. But we had prepared against them. They were playing a cover two, and we figured if we could run four verticals and get to the boundary safety and occupy them, we'd have one-on-one with Clint, who could just run, like the wind. And we had been preparing for that look all camp. We got the look, first play, 80 yards, and then it comes back. So a little unfortunate, but then I do remember our defense playing very well, and then we ended up getting a couple scores, so it was enough to win.
You guys got a 33-yard touchdown run from Pedro Lewis. That was the only offensive touchdown of the game for either team. A 37-yard field goal put you ahead 10-0, and then Montana State scores on a 68-yard punt return. Pedro Lewis, a guy that he's a couple years older than I was. I remember watching him in high school, and a guy that kind of gets overlooked a little bit, but a fantastic athlete. He was a three-sport athlete at McClatchy High School in town. What was he like to have in the backfield behind you?
Oh, he was kind of a calming presence because Pedro, he just was so laissez-faire and just everything that he did. He is really a gifted athlete, and it came easy to him, but he was extremely gifted. And I know he was drafted in baseball. He played basketball and football, and he was awesome. I still keep touch with him to this day, and he was a great player.
You guys offensively, like I said, put up some decent numbers, but the defense that day, negative 23 yards rushing for Montana State, 26 total yards. And as a quarterback, if your defense can do that for you, you got a pretty good chance of winning.
Oh, you're going to be in every game. All you got to do is get down and hopefully score some points. And if your defense playing that well, you're definitely going to be winning the field position battle. So fortunately, we had a great defense, and we had some huge anchors over there, and Tuyasa Sopo and John Kirksey, and I believe Lorenzo Flowers and Brian Allred at defensive back. So, we had an incredible defense that year.
Yeah, Kirksey, I believe, one of the guys that led the team in tackles that game, and then ended up going and playing the NFL as well.
Yeah. John, was a bounce back and played a couple years, was a teammate of mine. And I think he played 7 years in the NFL. And, he was a stud. Our whole defensive front, I think Valley Loggy was another guy on that front. I ended up coaching his son at Folsom High School, but we were loaded. And anytime you have a great defense, you're going to have a chance to win or be in many games.
So let's fast forward about 25 years. Last season, you guys come in, brand new staff. Great success at the high school level. Coach Taylor had some success as the offensive coordinator at Eastern Washington and Utah. You guys come into that first game, you're facing Southern Oregon. I know there was some level of confidence, but the opening drive, Southern Oregon takes it, marches down the field, gets a touchdown, and then from that point, you guys are up 77 points. There had to be no one on the staff that anticipated scoring 77 in that game last year.
We did anticipate scoring and doing well. The one thing that was kind of hard to accept was that they were going to just sit back and play cover one and try to match up with us. Now, they're an NAIA school, and they've had a lot of success. But at the same time, we felt, they're playing an FCS school. We should be the better team. And we kept saying to ourselves in camp that week, there's no way they could be a cover one all game long because they just don't match up. But lo and behold, they stuck to their game plan, and it didn't work very well. And we had a great game. We erupted. Of course, the defense gave up that one score, but then, they continued to put us in good position and get their offense off the field, and, turned into a record-setting performance for a lot of people on the offense.
Yeah, your guys' quarterbacks, or your quarterbacks alone, 17 of 23 in that game, 340 yards, 4 touchdowns passing, a couple more touchdowns rushing. But one of those days where everything seemed to be going right for you guys. And as you said, you got the matchups you wanted, and it made for some easy football.
It was, and it was awesome just because it gets us into a position where we can come out, get the season started on the right foot, and then go into a second game, against Arizona State, in which now you're playing an FBS school, and gave us some momentum, and we were able to carry that momentum and play Arizona State tough for the majority of the game.
Yeah, we did for sure, and it was the start of who knew that what was laying ahead for the rest of that season, but it ended up being a historic run, and it all started in that first game where you guys won. It's going against scoring 77. So, Coach Fresques, I appreciate your time, and thanks for taking a walk down memory lane there as we take some look at some games from this past opening week. And odds are we'll probably talk again at some point during the year.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to have time, right? With
For sure.
this COVID thing going on.
For sure. So,
all right. Well, I look forward to it.
all right. We'll talk to you later.
All right, Brian. Thank you.
Yeah.